Yay! Gosh! Wow! Oh my gosh! Wow! Oh my gosh! I'm live. I've not been live in a really long time. I've actually been doing a lot of live videos, um, like on Instagram and on Facebook. So this is so cool. Like the last time I went live, guys, I was in Thailand, and this was after my meditation. I don't know how many of you guys remember that, but it's so awesome to just come back in and check in with you guys and just say, hey, if you can drop me a message and let me know where you're coming from now. I just thought, hey, let me just see what happens if I can just pop in on this. Today, I want to talk to you guys about the types of people you avoid. I don't really like saying, hey, you need to avoid this person. It's not a nice thing, but it's really like sincerely, it's this, we're stepping into a new season. And so this kind of, I want to heed this almost as a warning, really, because, well, I just finished working out. And so I'm just kind of still got the energy. It's so like within me. It's nighttime here, and I'm about to shower. My hair is still wet. I've like taken 3 showers today. So yeah, message I received is I was actually going up some stairs, right? This was so interesting and weird or whatever, but I was going upstairs as I was coming back from the beach, and I scraped my foot. And I got this message, and I was like, maybe this is for my client. I don't really know. Like, somebody's coming to me for like spiritual help or counseling, and this is for everyone. You guys remember that right now it's a waiting period, and you feel like maybe you want to take a flight, but we're reminded that we have to go every single step slowly and slowly and slowly. So while we're doing that, we really do have to avoid certain types of people. And let me tell you why. I met a really cool girl, and she was with her family. I felt some kind of strange energy from her mom, and I've talked about relationships with moms like that. And it was just like with certain types of people, you have to be very careful with who you're letting into your storehouse right now. These people really are, this type of person is really somebody you really have to avoid. It's the type of person where you can't really win. Jealous people, people who feel inadequate, people who will always like, you can't quite relax around. These are not people you can ever win with. So, how do I know this? Because I take the recommendation that the doctor said to Sandra Oh in one of my favorite shows, Grey's Anatomy, and he said, never shrink to console someone. And I kind of did that with her. I was like, oh my gosh, your mom's gorgeous. Wow, look at that body. If she's like got a 20 something year old child, like two of them, like, wow, something nice. So I can't say hello to her husband, right? Because if I said to her husband, kind of, it would feel like it was weird, right? It would feel like, okay, she's flirting with my man. I'm talking to her daughters because I just make friends with her daughters. She thinks I'm a lesbian, that I'm interested in like kissing her daughter, or converting her daughter into God knows whatever. I didn't have any time for that. So what I want to share with you all is like there are some people you genuinely cannot get beyond. So again, I really don't like to share that people are so vital. For jealous people, you can find these people everywhere. These are the ones that sting the most because they're closest to you. Now, these are like family members, friends, neighbors. And why do you have to watch out for them? Because envy is actually a spiritual disease. I don't, I'm going to keep stop saying like, I don't want to say this, but really, like when we're dealing with spiritual ascension, we're dealing with spiritual gifts, we're dealing with a season. Jealousy and envy is actually a spiritual disease. So you will find, a lot of people as you start growing and you ask God to show you the motives of friends, family members, and you see people are doing spiritual things behind your back, say spells, say doing things to make life harder for you, hexes, things like that, jealousy, gossiping about you, saying like, calling you out of your name, doing things to sabotage you. These are people absolutely right now, whoever you're sharing your secrets with, or whoever you're telling intimate details of your life, just be really careful, because what's about to happen is things are going to be amazing, and there's going to be a lot of people who are going to want to come and assess things. And so it's really important to learn the lesson the first time. This person was not good. You ask God to show you in dreams. Like, for me, I get a lot of dreams. I get a lot of messages, and I got a lot of feelings. So this is really important, like with this feelings, right? I spent time with this family that I met when I was on vacation, as I'm talking about a few days ago, and the mother had such bad vibes for her daughter. I was like, I have felt that before. And that's not a good relationship. And like, very like, she used control as a form of like, controlling her children's movements, and they were of a sound mind to make their own choices. Again, people that are jealous are very capable of doing spiritually violent and terrible things, like blocking your way and making your life harder than need to be. The next type of person really to watch out for, and I do want to also preface it by saying this: you may see yourself in a lot of the people that I'm sharing with you. So like, maybe there was a time you were genuinely jealous of your friend who got engaged and you just broke up with someone. But if you didn't plan to like do any harm to them, then I don't think, this, it's not really speaking to that. You're going to know. You just ask God to show you in dreams, to expose the motives of fake friends. Ask God to priver your ear so you can hear things and see things. And so I was seeing things of my own family members. You know what I mean? Like, this was like in a previous video that I shared. You're going to be very shocked, and it like hurts a little bit, but when you are clear about this, remember, this is a positive thing. Even though a lot of these people have to be avoided, they have to be moved out of your life, it's because you're about to be in an amazing season. If a lot of these terrible things have not happened, or it hurts these people's soul so bad to see you in a different space, that they want to hurt you, or they're just jealous, or they want to say that you're a bad person. But actually, like, what happens, and we're seeing this during COVID, it's not just like pointing the finger at someone else. Usually a person pointing the finger, oh, you're a terrible person. You're like, well, am I really? Or am I a terrible person who hurts my family? Or are you, like, if that's what you want to say, is it actually terrible that you're like hating your kids right now, and you're cheating on your wife with somebody at work? Am I that horrible? I mean, just it has nothing to do with me then, clearly, but it hurts how you're treating me. So sometimes it's like this, you know what I mean? So jealous people, again, not you. Definitely just kind of want to keep an eye out for them, and envious people. And the thing is, they might be smiling in your face, and you kind of feel, well, I don't really like this person. Oh my gosh, let me tell you, the cleaning and excavation that I have done in the past 2 years has been beautiful. So the next type is the negative person, right? This person is, let me give you an example. I met somebody who, when I was, saw me often when I was living in Rosarito, in Mexico, in Baja, because I'm so sorry, like, I'm like in tropical weather, and I'm so itchy. Like, there's something biting me, and I have like citronella everywhere. But and I just finished working out, so I'm sure they want to like be eating me. But anyways, so negative people. So when I met this guy who saw me in Rosarito, he was really nice, and everyone's like, dang, he's really hot. But the second he opened his mouth, when I was living there, I would just kind of take vans into town. And one day he stopped to give me a ride. And rather than wait while I was waiting, I was like, okay, yeah, I mean, it's important to be open to things. And if somebody's offering to help you take a ride, I definitely want to accept it. If somebody's offering to buy you coffee, we definitely want to accept it when we're careful and we see that this person really just wants to help, right? You cannot ask God or the universe and creator of all that is to give you like amazing things if the first step is not even accepting a small cup of coffee. Okay, so, or a ride. This guy was so freaking negative. Like, seriously, one day he was washing cars for a living and he was happy to help me, and he gave me his number for safekeeping. And he said, "Look, I'd love to get to know you one day. Are you going to be here for a little bit? I have to go and wash a car." And like, I mean, I'm not really judging anything. I had a lot of stuff to do for my own personal stuff. So I'm like, okay. Um, and this type of negative person, oh, okay. Anyway, let me just calm down because this one is like, this can be like a lot of people that you know. So he told me that I was ready to leave where I was. It's even why I wrote this love letter to Calafia. And I was like, look, I have to leave this place. Like, my soul's ready to leave. I'm just like, I got to get to the bus station or the train station, whatever, the bus station, so I can like buy my ticket. And he's like, why are you so happy? I'm like, because my soul's ready to be gone. Like, my soul needs to leave. And he was like, well, tell your soul to wait. Yo, like, serious as clapping my hands to make a point. This guy's soul was like, and you get a just strange feeling about this person. You're like, this person is just so sad. I mean, there's nothing wrong with washing cars, but like, your spirit is so ugly. Like, I was just disgusted. Honestly, I just gave the guy a couple like 100 pesos, and I was like, okay, you can just like, take me back. It's cool. Just so negative, really sad soul. Now, what the next group of like person you have to leave behind is this love hate relationship. I mean, it just like, you know, this was kind of my relationship with Calafia. Now, I really loved it so much, but in this season where I'm about to move forward, you're gonna have to move in silence a little bit, like getting a few things, and just you can be friendly and tell people, yeah, we went here for a weekend or whatever. I just like left to keep traveling or doing whatever I was doing, but don't be very specific. Yeah, this is how much I'm making. This is exactly what my plans are. These are some things you have to be really quiet, particularly in a love hate relationship. So when you have this with people, sometimes we can stay in a situation longer than we think because we're so sure that we need a little balance. Or if in 15 minutes I didn't like it then maybe I'll like it later. So again, when I was Rosarito in Calafia, I was really careful about my exit. I actually paid for more time while I was there than I needed to. But each time, like, I really wanted to leave. I genuinely, like, I cried because it's like, I love this place. It's so beautiful. But, like, I'm not really connecting with it. Like, I mean, I do. I sit outside and it's gorgeous maybe for a few days, but, like, I think maybe almost 2.5 months, 3 months. Like, I was in a different hotel in the center of town and it was perfect. But it wasn't near the beach and everything had closed. I mean, it's COVID, right? So it was just like, okay, I just need to leave. Like, this is not really. I would see cars in the parking lot, and I'm like, I was getting. They the owner was really cool. I met somebody who was working there, who had lived there, and said he was a really nice older man, and he was like, hey, come stay in this hotel. And here it was just like I inherited this very beautiful castle. Like, of course, why wouldn't I want to stay, right? Um, but this goes the same with people. Like, every time I saw a car out there, I was like, no, I'm going to keep staying because this is a great deal. Like, the idea of the great deal was holding on to me. This is the same with people. It's like the same for a type of relationship. And moving forward, it's important to get people like that out of your life and quickly, where you like them, but like you really, really honestly, like you super hate them. Right? Like, this is why we think, well, I put in all those years, or this has been my friend since I was 15. I mean, right now, you don't have to. I mean, I'm not saying cut these people off. I'm saying this is someone you just kind of want to just, oh, hey, it's good to see you, and you just avoid them. I'm not saying really like don't go into like cutting people off and blocking them and stuff like that. Sometimes it's actually called for. Um, but I just feel like for a lot of people, when it's like a love hate relationship like that, my goodness, how can I say this? Anyway, let's move on to the next one. People who break your spirit. Okay, so in my book, I shared a story about my journey in enslavement castle. Let me change the light because I feel like maybe it's just a bit not so great. Okay, there we go. I feel like maybe if I even like step out, maybe just a little bit, it might be different. Let me see how this looks. Can you guys? Is it okay on that end? Okay, I don't know. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. Yeah. So people who break your spirit. Some of these people are like, ew, you don't need these kind of people in your life. Like, you know what I mean? I talked about my grandma and how I went to the enslavement castle, and it was a really, really hard experience for me because, I didn't understand why she felt the need to kind of cut me off, why she felt the need to, get out of it, like, always say awful things. But when people start breaking your spirit, these are like, honestly, this is the type of person like you absolutely have to cut ties off with. You're not just avoiding them, but like, I don't want to say the P word or the C word. Okay, I'll say it, like the plague or COVID. But like, you really want to get away from these type of people because honestly, a spirit breaker is going, what happens when you stay with someone who attempts to break your spirit is you're not going to be able to get to where you're supposed to go. You're not ascending at all, really. So this is why it's so important. And so let's talk about the season and why we have to be a little cautious right now. Just not say anything. I mean, honestly, if you really do, I did post a different video. It was, yo, you guys hear those dogs? Ah. Okay. Anyways, so if you do hear of these types of people and like any one of those, you just can't when like hate you for no reason. I mean, for example, my first day I'm back. People who like hate you for no reason, you just like walk and everybody like takes you to one party. You get to one party. That catty, bitchy vibe of energy, that's just not someone you really want to choose to get involved with because like just doing things for no reason, those types of people, you can just avoid them. Like really people who start fights for no reason, always just like arguing. These are kind of some of the signs that you can really look into. Now, I had been getting a lot of emails, and I do want to really address like how do you walk away from these type of people and gently, and how can you kind of like cleanse your energy. So one of the best and easiest and like almost super free ways to do that is you can go for a swim in the beach. Like a lot of people end up taking salt baths and they feel like, okay, like I can just put a little salt water in here and like maybe some rose petals to cleanse my energy and my spirit to break any sort of spiritual ties, curses. Fasting and asking God to show you motives of people, recording your dreams is another one. Okay, like this is like so important. You will be very shocked when you start recording your dreams. So I can just hear somebody who's going to watch this later and they're going to say, but Marinike, like, I don't even remember my dreams. This is actually a chat I had with my client this morning. And I want to share with you that it's not so much every single night that you have to remember your dreams, but it is that it's every time that a dream is so meaningful, or in the morning you wake up and you're like, that was really weird. This is the perfect, I mean, honestly, this is the perfect time for you to write down what's happening in your dreams. And honestly, if you even want to get like some kind of like voice memo and be saying in your phone, okay, like, and your mouth is all crusty and you just woke up or whatever, and you just like start talking in your phone, and you're like, okay, I had this really weird dream, blah, 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 and this is what happens. Honestly, God sent me a dream about pork. I didn't think much about it. I was just kind of like, that's really weird. And guess what? Like all of the other people in my circle started coming out and saying, you know what? I got a dream about pork, so I'm not eating it. I got a dream about pork. I was like, wow. Okay, so we're all receiving a lot of the same messages. So only those of us who are tuned in and just like kind of writing our dreams down, this is so important to do that. Also, you can start to feel a lot of the vibes when they're done. So for me specifically, when I'm not, I mean, just like being so super sensitive and psychic, I can feel when someone has negative thoughts directed towards me. Thank God I've been given a lot of tools and like I heal other people to do this too, to cleanse that psychic energy. What this is called a psychic attack. So you can feel really far like, why do I feel really bad about someone right now? It's because someone's talking negatively about you, especially in a very like tight family group, or with an ex, or even if you're not close with your family and all you just start feeling something, it's because their thoughts, they're sending you really ugly energy. This is like, okay, it's, I guess, I don't want to say it's normal because like I have so many books honestly, and one of the ones that I love to promote and share with you guys is called How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. And the number one thing on the very first rule that he shares is that you don't want to never criticize, condemn, or say negative things about other people. So when you're doing this, I mean, there's ways where you can do it politely, but if you're criticizing or condemning different people in this way, this is kind of what's causing a lot of blocks, um, when they feel you. Will you, or I mean, when when you feel them talking about you, like they're criticizing or condemning or thinking ugly things about you or saying awful things. So this is like a lot of energy, people, things that is so important for you to keep your protection up. So let's just kind of review a few things. Definitely ask God to show you what is in your dreams, praying and fasting, or to show you. Definitely do a little bit of fasting and some praying. I mean, it does not have to be what a 14-day fast of just like nothing. I did that 14 days of just like no food, no water, and just but it can be a day, just one whole day. Don't fast. I mean, don't eat anything, and this is what is meant by fasting, or to eat, not eat for a certain period of time, and say, God, you know what? I just need you to expose the motives of people around me, and pray that you can just kind of like, just pray that they've set you free, and ask that your past not negatively affect your future. And then also take baths in water, salt water. I mean, there's people who do stone healings and all kinds of stuff, and I think that's amazing. I also do a lot of healings too, clearing psychic attacks, energetic divorces, recalling your soul fragments back from other places, activating DNA. I go through a lot of different like journeys, right? Healing a lot of regret and remorse, going through ancestral situations. But because a lot of you are generational curse breakers and you have come through a lot of stuff, people aren't going to like that. There's a reason that you're being drawn to this, and people are being drawn to like harming you. So just avoid these types of people. Keep your vibration up, just keep laughing, keep smiling, and definitely, move in silence. Don't not associate with other people. But definitely, certainly during this season, I've absolutely loved spending a lot of time alone. Like I did come home because like I love my house, like I love my town, I love everything about like this place is been holding my heart. I've um it's like my soul never left. It's like I went to sleep and woke up and my soul is still here, like just another day. But you guys, it's I'm just happy for you. I mean, if you're watching this video at some other point and you're like, sharing this broadcast, I really, really appreciate it. And I really want to hear from you. What's going on in your lives? So what I'm doing is I host a luncheon the last Monday of every month, and we just talk about really cool topics. So the first topic that we talked about is seeing losses as wins. And it's really interesting to hear different people's perspectives. What I used to do is I would have a really big lunch or dinner, and I would just invite random people to come over. Just the first like 50 contacts in my phone. Whoever showed up, showed up. And it was always fun and intimate. I said on my website it started in Phoenix, but it kind of started before that when I was cooking for my friends who were in bands. And I was like, yeah, come over, I'll cook you some food. And actually, even before that, graduation, like I just love to cook. It just makes me happy. So I ate two things that I love: food and really good company. And so the second one that we had was, I keep forgetting. It's just like, why do I even do that? Like rebuilding a new world. So with COVID and all this stuff, people want their attention to be drawn toward the negative things. But when we're considering that one, COVID is so positive and we are seeing ourselves and the mirror is just like this close, that's such a positive thing. We're all one. We all have the capacity to kill. Sometimes it's just like somebody's crazy and they woke up the wrong day, and sometimes it's like you killed my daughter, you raped my family member, or something. Everyone has a button. Everyone has the capacity to like steal as well. Maybe you're just hungry, or maybe you had the money in your pocket and you just didn't want to pay for it. We are all one. So when we recognize that there are certain human behaviors that that happen and will always happen regardless, we can still move forward in creating a life that we wanted for ourselves. Anyway, this month or this Monday, we're having a chat about fearlessly facing fears. So, our fears are so normal. And especially when we're talking about like the things that we're talking about right now, right? There's a lot of people. There's some lose kinds of mentality, and like, why do I have to avoid these types of people? I- I'm going to post a different video, and I did kind of guilt key as like a key to moving forward and navigating positive relationships and calling it a soul family. So yeah, with this, addressing your fearlessly facing your fears is one of the coolest, and I feel like a very positive way to be vulnerable and just say, you know what, but I can just squash it. Now, I know I was just kind of like, you want to move in silence this season? Definitely. And that's so important. Like, I mean, I've kind of been like back and forth about like how much I want to share. It doesn't mean not sharing things and like avoiding people, but just like you can still talk to them, but just maybe not so much about yourself, not so much about what you're doing. And I think that's like kind of the questions I've been getting, because like, when you come home, everybody wants to hear everything. So tell me everything. Like, where have you been? What have you been doing? Like, what's your life like? I mean, it's kind of like that. And so it's just weird. It's just like, how much do I say? Okay. It's like that. So you guys, I really love and appreciate you. I'm going to give you the Zoom information right now. So if in the future you are able to catch me at one of my lunch ends, that would be awesome. I would really love to see you. Let me give you the Zoom, and it's via Zoom. So you can just plug this in, and it's a really quick and easy download. You can download it like on your computer, and you can download it on any like tablet, telephone number, whatever. It's really nice to be able to do that. Okay, so it's loading my meetings, and whenever it wants to open, it's gonna be good. Let's see. Yeah, it's still loading. I hope you are doing well. And I hope that when you get this, you will share the broadcast, or when you're watching this a little later, you continue to do so. So why is this not showing my meeting? Okay, I'm not sure why I'm not able to do this. I just had a few minutes to post about my, this message I got. Again, remember guys that you have to take one step at a time. Skipping a few steps is gonna cause harm to you. So just if you can, oh yes, okay, yeah, if you can just be, as chill as you can about enjoying every single step as you ascend. Okay, so again, the meeting is this Monday, July 27th. It's the meeting number is 818-2084-6361. It's going to be for about 90 minutes. Everyone's welcome to hop in and hop off as you see fit. Okay, God bless you. Have a nice night. Bye. Thank you.